Welcome back to the Dino Den with Topsy and friends. I'm so glad you're here. Are you ready for today's adventure? Then let's stomp on in.
The big basket tipped, muffins tumbled, and everybody laughed. Episode 9. Welcome back to the Dino Den with Topsy and friends. I'm Maggie, and I'm so glad you're here. Are you ready for another adventure? Then let's stomp on in. Big adventures start with little steps. It was a sunny morning at the den. Warm sun on the rock. The picnic blanket smelled like berry muffins, and tiny giggles floated in the air. Topsy had laid out little pinecone plates. Rexy practiced polite roars. Lincoln and London were weaving a ribbon garland. Mama T-Rex hummed a soft song. And Tank had just carried the big basket all by himself, puffing with pride. He was so proud. His chest wiggled like a happy drum. But in the bustle, when everyone began to clap and tuck in, Tank smiled and set the basket down. He wiped berry crumbs off his claws and forgot one small thing. He didn't say thank you. Rexy's little ear tufts twitched. London gave Tank a ribbon that fluttered like a tiny flag. Mama T-Rex smiled with her whole big heart. But no thank you popped out. Sometimes, when we're proud or in a hurry, the nicest words slip out of our mouths like pebbles down a hill. So the friends whispered and winked and hatched a tiny, giggly plan. They decided to make a thank you trail. Not a map for dragons, a ribbon of surprises that would lead Tank on a gentle hunt. Each friend tucked something small along the path. A pebble painted with a smile. A crumbly muffin crumb tied with a leaf. A note that said, "You helped," in squiggly dino handwriting. A tiny, silly song to hum, tucked under a leaf. Topsy placed a soft feather that tickled Tank's nose when he picked it up. Rexy hid a small pebble that made a funny clack-clack sound. Lincoln tucked a paper leaf that smelled faintly of berries. Mama T-Rex left a little note written in careful, loving letters. Each surprise was tiny and kind. Each one said, without words, "We noticed you. We are grateful." Tank grew curious and followed the trail. Step by clumsy step, he found the feather, the pebble, the leaf. "Who made this?" he asked the trees. "Who noticed my help?" he whispered to the wind. The friends giggled behind rocks and hummed their silly song, a little applause wrapped in music. Then all of them sang one small line together. "Tank, thank you for helping today." And they opened their claws to show their smiling notes. Tank's eyes got soft. He hadn't meant to be forgetful. Sometimes the nicest words take a little time to find their way back. Tank stepped forward and wrapped his friends in a big, careful dino hug. "Thank you," Tank said slowly, like tasting a new berry for the first time. "Thank you for building the trail and for noticing me." And then the friends remembered a story they'd heard long ago. In that story, some friends were helped, and then they remembered to say thank you. They thanked Jesus because their hearts felt so full of surprise and joy. Tank and his friends didn't make this into a list of rules. They showed how thanks feels, warm, small, and bright, like the sun on a berry muffin. Soon the picnic was full of tiny thank yous, little songs, and apple smile faces. Saying thank you didn't make helping smaller. It was like adding sparkles to it. It helped the person who helped feel seen, and it helped the helper remember the good they did too. Now, have you ever helped someone and then forgotten to say thank you? Or been so surprised by a kindness you forgot the words? Who could you say thank you to today? Maybe a friend, a teacher, mama or daddy, or someone who shared a snack. You can even whisper a tiny thank you to God for the people who love you. If you'd like to try something now, take 3 slow breaths and think of one person who helped you this week. Maybe whisper a quiet thank you or draw a little picture to give them. Small things add up like pebbles on a path. Thanks for joining us in the Dino Den with Topsy and Friends. If you enjoyed today's picnic and the thank you trail, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss our next Stomptastic story. Keep wondering, keep growing, and remember, God loves you more than you can imagine. Until next time, God bless, little explorer. Thanks for listening.
Today's adventure may be over, but your next one is just beginning. Thanks for joining us in the Dino Den with Topsy and Friends. Keep wondering, keep growing, and remember, God loves you more than you can imagine. See you next time in the Dino Den.